Inscryption is my game of the year. It is beyond my expectations for any game that has come out in the last 5 or so years, probably more. And yet, even though it is a simple card game, it transcends its peers. This game is not an easy subject for me because I don't want to spoil it for you. This is going to be a spoiler-free video about Inscryption, mostly spoiler-free. I will tell you certain things that I think you should know because I think they are just important, and then I will tell you things that I think you should learn on your own. So if you don't want to hear that, click off. I'm just going to cover the first act. I'm covering nothing more than the first act. The gameplay and B-roll on screen will never be anything but just the first act, so I will not go above that. I will never talk about anything past Act 1 except in a looming you'll get there when you get there sense. I will never spoil anything past Act 1 for you, and even then I will do my best to keep most of Act 1 a secret anyway. I also think it's necessary to tell most people that there is more than one act to the game, which might sound like a really annoying spoiler, yes, I know, but I think it's better that you know and then you play it for yourself than just you play the game for the first act and then you think it's over and you put away the game when there is so much more content there. I think a lot of people are going to play the first act and not realize just how much content there is. Every other game I've played in the last 5 or so years has been riddled with bugs, has had so many issues to the point where I just was frustrated or found it to be sometimes unplayable. Many times thinking that I've been scammed by the game developers of how bad or just generally unfinished the product is. And I don't mean just the betas, I don't mean just the early access, even though those are a problem too. I mean general finished AAA games that do not meet expectations at all. Inscryption is a simple card game, and yet the story and gameplay goes beyond my expectations for the peers of game design. I cannot express how well this game is made, how little bugs I ran into, if any that I can remember. This game, I believe, deserves to be Game of the Year in every category that I've seen. I even tried to nominate it for every category on Steam with no luck. In my opinion, this game is a masterpiece, and I think for a while it will be known and talked about by many YouTubers. I think a lot of people are going to play it. I even called that Markiplier would play it before he did. I was lucky to see that John Wolf started playing it, which I was very happy for. I think it will be a game that is going to do very well for itself, though I do have some worries for it, which I'll get into soon. Now, in my opinion, this game is amazing on all fronts. To start, the story is just perfect. It is exactly what you would not expect. It is jaw-dropping. It really takes you out of the game and right back into it without somehow breaking any immersion, even though it breaks the fourth wall on multiple occasions. Gameplay is somewhat similar to things we've seen. In fact, I believe certain parts of it are meant to be joke versions or their takes on previously made games / card games that have already been made. And yet most of the gameplay still feels fresh and renewing. I have never really been into cards or card games except poker. I've never cared for things like Pokemon and stuff like that since I was a little kid. I think even if you think card games are the stupidest things on the planet, you will find that this game is still beyond expectations and will make you enjoy card games because of the way it is made. Now again, it's hard to talk about this without spoiling it and explaining what makes it so good. To summarize what I've said so far, Inscryption is a story-rich card game that really relies on the viewer just giving it a chance. That's it. If you give the game a chance, I promise you'll enjoy it eventually. And even if you don't enjoy the first part, you might enjoy the second part, or the third part, or hell, even if you don't enjoy it at all and you just hate it somehow, I would say you can at least respect the work that went into it and the design choices that were made, because they really are just beyond breathtaking. A game like this only comes out once in a while, and I know I'm pretty much just sucking it off, but that's because it's the only game within the last couple of years to really make me sit back and just sit in awe. It's been a long time since I got so excited from a game that I poured over like 24 hours into it, and under maybe like 3 days I just kept on playing. Everything I did, I just kept on playing. Even after I beat the game, I restarted so I could play again. That's how much I liked it. And I'm someone that usually these days doesn't like story games. I like playing PvP these days. I'm gotten competitive. I'm kind of bored with most stories. They've kind of all started following the same format. This game lets you be, well, you. There's no big lesson to learn. There's no who's bad and who's good. It's just a game. It has a story to tell, and I think anyone who can enjoy any quality ranging from gameplay to storytelling to sound design will find some way to enjoy this game. Aspects ranging from the sound design to just the overall visual quality to just the tiny amount of space this game takes up of how much content it has all amazes me in different ways, and I can go on probably for hours about each one, but I'm not going to do that. I think that would be a waste of time, and I think the best way to see it is just to experience it yourself. This game will make you think, it might make you feel, it might expose you to certain things that might make you want to play other games that are similar, that are more story oriented, maybe games that really immerse you and ask you, the player, questions about yourself. Anyway, in the making of this video, I watched the Game Awards with some friends. Let's go see what the Game Awards had to say for Game of the Year.
World premiere trailer for Rocksteady's newest title, Suicide Squad: Kill the Justice League. We've all been waiting anxiously for them to give us a first look at...
Oh my god, we're getting hacked. It's real, we're actually getting hacked. What's going on?
What the hell do you think you're doing?
Well, I'm giving awards to all the shitty games and all the developers that trolled us this year.
Huh?
So then Neil Cuckman runs up and he's all like, if I don't fucking get Game of the Year again, I'm gonna blow us all up with a bomb.
And the 2021 Game of the Year is... It Takes Two. Yeah, my game won. You guys can all suck it. I'm so much better. Get fucked.
Oh yeah, and somehow Inscription didn't even get nominated for Best Audio Design, even though it was better than any of those games combined, I promise you. And games like Modern Warfare, which is riddled with cheaters.
Yeah, dude. He's just better, you know?
Battlefield, I think, which like just came out that nobody cares about. It Takes Two, which I never played, but I'm pretty sure there's a million games that have already taken that idea before. And Deathloop, which is made by Arcane, so I'm sure it's pretty good because they've always made good games in the past. But somehow Inscription didn't get to be up on there at all for anything. But don't worry, we got Funny Tall Lady from Resident Evil 8, that game that tried to be 3 games in 1, failed miserably, copied a bunch of other games, and then fucking crashed a million times. Didn't work, had boring story, and then refused to elaborate and left. Nobody cares about the stupid outro. Let's just talk about something else for a minute. Remember earlier in the video when I mentioned some of my worries for the future? Let's talk about that right now. So, the new Five Nights at Freddy's just came out. I've been playing it. It's pretty terrible. Tons of glitches. Characters teleport constantly. Story's good. It's fine. And it's a pretty cool concept. But could use work. Kind of feels like it's in beta, to be honest. Missing a lot of the features from previous games, including some of the parts that really made the game feel unique. But it's fine. To me, it feels more like a fan game, but whatever. People are still playing it by the dozens. All the YouTubers are playing it, which has kind of taken Inscription out of the possibility of becoming extremely popular. But what people are really waiting for is more Poppy playtime. I think that's going to be the next big game, and I think that FNAF will not live very long, this new title. I don't think it will be very successful, and I think that after FNAF is done, I think that Poppy playtime will be what everyone's waiting for. Which means, yet again, as always, all the bad games will get all the spotlight, and all the really well-crafted games will be shoved under. Bye-bye.